I would say that the biggest lesson I've learned in my music career would be stick to your guns, stick to your art. Don't try to jump on trends and bandwagons and doing what other people are doing. I made this mistake a lot. I started making music at a, I guess I always call it a semi-pro level because I mean, you know, you put out music that's competitive in quality, but you don't make any money. It's not really professional, but it's semi-professional. Um, I started doing that at the age of about 20. And at the time, we were kind of in that in-between phase where the old model of tour till you drop um, was transitioning into the new model of online content gets you more exposure than anything else. We were kind of in the middle of that, and we were looking to a lot of examples around us of what we should do. And we tried a lot of things that didn't work, and they didn't feel right when we did them. For example, joining, again, no judgment to people who do these, but joining competitions to try to get on festivals, posting all kinds of content on social media to get traction, but that really had nothing to do with our art, and also touring to the point of exhaustion, financial exhaustion and emotional exhaustion. I would say don't do it unless it's gonna have a payoff. You know, you want to play enough shows to get good and to hone your craft, but there's no point in doing it if you're playing in front of 3 people. You have to make sure that all of the time and the money you invest is worth it, because ultimately, if you want to be in the long game, you don't want to burn out and have to give up because you ran out of money and you're too in debt or whatever. You have to choose a sustainable pace and do the things that make sense for your art. Anyway, that's what I do now, and that's what a lot of artists that I've seen have rapid success. That seems to be what they do.
The biggest lesson I could say is just go with your gut. You know, everybody thinks they know something. You know, take advice with a grain of salt. You know, some advice is good advice. Some advice is not good advice. You know, last album, for example, we had a label that wanted us to scrap the entire album and, you know, go in with a team of their writers and basically sound like, you know, hillbilly Nickelback or something. No offense to Nickelback. But, you know, we decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this our way. And, you know, and we didn't go like a more major route like that. And we still ended up, you know, charting on the, you know, regional Billboard charts and doing really well. Got to do a lot of really great things and started building a career as opposed to just becoming another, you know, radio rock band that's indistinguishable from the next radio rock band. So, you know, stay with your heart, man. You know, it's different for everybody, but, you know, that's my biggest lesson. I think that's probably a lesson for anything in life.
Perseverance.
Yeah, I guess that's a good one. Just keep at it. I've said it before, there's so many ups and downs of music. Sometimes you make decent money, sometimes you don't make any. So you just have to keep on going. Sometimes your fan base gets up here, sometimes it goes down. It's a roller coaster. And it's not for the weak. You know, you have to just keep going if you want.
I guess just work really hard. Nothing really comes for free, and you know, just got to do everything as good as you can, because no one really helps you out in the long run.
Obviously, a bigger arena or something, you have to kind of project to all these different places. But I think the same level of intensity is there, even when you do the smaller club like this. But ultimately, I don't know how to delineate the difference, but there is a difference. I think it's more that you're making eye contact with people and they're right there. Whereas in those arena situations, you don't really see anyone. You just kind of see this haze of people. You hear them more than you see them. I feel more of a burden, to be honest, in the bigger arena because they paid a lot of money to get in there. And there's pressure to be good because there's so many people watching you. In a smaller bar or venue like this, like, I think people are down for a good time. So it's I find it a little easier because they're right there and it's more kinetic. It's much harder to go up on a giant stage and try and pull it off.
I think also traveling here, we saw a lot of bands live, and you get a different feel of other genres of music, and that energy that they have on stage And I want to talk a bit about Kwasa Kwasa again because I think it's a very, very energetic music on stage. And if you look at the dancers and the vocalist and the whole band, how they interact with the audience, they sometimes call the audience on stage and they get them to dance parts of the songs. And I think that is something that inspired me because I like their energy on stage. And growing up here, watching these other bands playing on stage, I wanted to take some of those elements and put it into our music, you know, that freeness, that raw passion of a band not pretending to be anything, not trying to be perfect. I think we strive for sincerity. I think that's what I would say. Honesty in the sound, rather than striving for that overproduced, polished sound that to me sounds fake and I cannot relate to it.
It's quite clear that our environment has had a great effect on not only our sound, but also on the aesthetic that we have in terms of our music videos and our album covers. We always try and depict natural landscapes and what we are surrounded by on a daily basis. And that's important for us because people will get to understand what influences us, how the process works, how we are inspired. And I think environment definitely plays a large role on our sound and our style.
When we write skin-free songs, mostly we depend on the mood of the time. And since we have our studio outside of town where it's very, very quiet and more like a farm, you hear the sounds of the birds, the animals, and everything. So we have that tranquility of the mind where we are in a state to compose very good songs. And with the environment that our studio is located in, where it's very, very quiet, now when we go to town to set up some shows there, when we meet these people, more especially our fans. So the fans are the ones who are giving us this the energy when we are on stage, leading to an extent that we just like Juice was saying, we can add some new things while we are playing live music, but not depending on how the song used to sound when we recorded it. So I think we are mostly also inspired by the fans.
Yeah, we're definitely inspired by our fans. They have a very raw, infectious energy. When we perform and we see them respond to us, it just makes us want to do that much more for them, because a lot of them travel from far distances to come and see us, because Botswana is very sparse and the cities are spread out quite a bit. So when they come and watch us, we have to give it our all, and it's a nice exchange of energy and power, and it's just fun and spontaneous and very unexpected.
Sometimes there are a lot of obstacles when we play live. I know my hearing over the years has gotten somewhat bad, so there are times on stage I might not be able to hear my guitar, or might not hear somebody else in the band, and it gets a little difficult at points. So that's why you really have to know your music as best as you can know it, and just go out there and every night, and I just go out there and I just pray that I have a good performance, and that the fans in the end go away with that feeling of hey, they sounded great, or they sounded good, or oh, that was awesome, whatever their opinion may be.